In a world cluttered with information, where truth is power, Lawin Weekly News stands apart.
We delve deeper, uncover facts, and bring stories to light. From political showdowns and economic triumphs to the pulse of the street and the heart of the community.
We capture the moments that define us, stories that challenge, inspire, and transform.
Tune in live Sundays 8 a.m. Central Standard Time and Sundays 6 p.m. Central Standard Time.
These are Lawin headlines for this week. $3 billion dementia fund in Texas paused after lawsuit. Austin leaders finalize approval of new budget. Turkey prices climb nearly 40%, putting focus on National Leftovers Day. Marcos reveals arrest warrant for Zaldi Co., 17 others. PACCTXDFW hosts entrepreneurship bootcamp for aspiring business owners. Knights of Rizal, Texas honors Rizal's ideals with Consul Pangui as guest speaker.
Good day, I am Neska, and today we bring you the latest stories in the United States of America, especially in the state of Texas. So sit back, relax, and let Lawin Weekly News be your guide to the news that matters most. A federal court has blocked Texas from using a new congressional map for the 2026 elections, ordering the state to stick with the district lines adopted in 2021. The ruling affects how Texas will organize its U.S. House elections, keeping the map drawn after the 2020 census that was used in the 2022 elections. Under the court's order, election officials must use the 2021 district boundaries for primaries, general elections, ballots, voter registration, and related procedures. The decision applies to all congressional districts statewide. State election officials must follow the ruling for deadlines, election materials, and voter assignments. County offices will organize precincts according to the existing boundaries. Candidate filings for the 2026 elections will proceed under the 2021 map, subject to any later court or legislative action that complies with federal requirements. Texas' $3 billion Dementia Research and Care Fund remains on hold after a lawsuit challenged the November 4 vote that authorized the program. The lawsuit filed in Texas District Court seeks to block implementation of the fund, alleging that voting machines malfunctioned and did not accurately record votes on the ballot measure. Plaintiffs say the alleged problems affected the integrity of the results and ask the court to halt certification and enforcement of the vote. State officials say the fund would finance programs for Alzheimer's and other forms of dementia, including research grants, clinical initiatives, and support services for patients and caregivers. Texas Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick criticized the lawsuit, calling it an attempt to overturn a voter-approved initiative. He said the results reflect the will of Texas voters and the state would move forward once legal barriers are cleared. Houston City Council member Letitia Plummer proposed a change to Houston Police Department policy on immigration-related warrants, seeking to give officers discretion in contacting U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Currently, HPD officers must notify ICE of any active warrant, whether administrative or criminal. Plummer's proposal would change the policy from shall contact ICE to may contact ICE, allowing officers to decide whether low-level violations require federal involvement. She said the revision follows a review sparked by a June domestic violence case involving a reported victim with an ICE warrant. Plummer said the change complies with Texas Senate Bill 4 and would protect officers from legal conflicts while giving them flexibility in handling minor cases. The Houston Police Officers Union opposed the proposal, calling it unlawful and warning it could put federal and state funding at risk. Union President Doug Griffith said officers are required to notify the agency that issued any open warrant, including ICE, and failure to do so could violate legal procedures. The Houston City Council approved a citywide nighttime curfew for electric scooters, rental bikes, and all-terrain vehicles on public streets. The ordinance bans operations or rental of these vehicles from 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. daily. Houston police and city regulators can impound scooters and similar devices used or parked in violation of the curfew. The law also establishes impoundment fees and penalties for riders and operators. City officials cited Houston Fire Department data showing that 78% of emergency calls linked to downtown micromobility incidents from 2021 to 2024 occurred between 8 p.m. and 4 a.m. Mayor John Whitmire said the measure aims to reduce injuries and late-night disorder, adding that officers will not pursue riders to avoid safety risks. From 2021 through 2025, authorities seized 129 scooters, impounded 74, issued more than 3,000 warnings, made 8 arrests, and recovered 5 firearms during scooter-related operations. Council member Mario Ramirez initially delayed the vote, but Council member Julian Martinez pushed to act immediately, citing public safety concerns and complaints from downtown businesses. Ramirez agreed to a December public committee meeting for feedback.
In a world filled with fleeting moments, there's beauty waiting to be captured. My name is Christian, and I specialize in immortalizing your most precious memories. From elegant weddings to vibrant events and timeless portraits, I'm here to make every moment unforgettable. Let me tell your story through the lens. Contact me today and let's create magic together.
Journey to self-discovery and mastery. Be bold, why not? Season 6 with MJ Concepcion every Monday 8 p.m. CST. Don't miss out.
Where every conversation is welcome at the table. This is Pink Table Talk with Dr. Carly D. Every Wednesday 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Rice, spice, and everything nice. Welcome to the Philippine food scene with adobo queen, Nancy Reyes Lumen of Commissary Kitchen. Every Thursday 8 p.m. CST, Friday 9 a.m. Philippine time.
The City Council, or Austin City Council, approved the city's budget for the next fiscal year. The budget includes more than $38 million in reductions to social services and other city programs, as officials responded to revenue limits, slower growth in some income sources, and higher operating costs. Funding levels were set for departments including public safety, transportation, parks, housing, utilities, and administrative services. Council members reviewed property tax collections, sales tax, utility transfers, and other revenue before approving the plan. City officials said core operations such as police, fire, and emergency medical services will continue under the new spending plan. Departments will review contracts, staffing, and program scopes to adjust to the reduced funding. City departments will now implement the budget, update contracts, and prepare for the fiscal year. Officials say they will monitor revenues and expenditures and provide regular reports to the council and public. Susie Humphreys, a longtime North Texas television and radio broadcaster, has died, though her family has not released the exact date. Humphreys spent years at WFAA TV in Dallas, appearing in local programs and at KVIL-FM, a Dallas-Fort Worth radio station, where she became a familiar voice to listeners. Her career spanned decades, including on-camera work, radio hosting, and public speaking engagements. At WFAA, she took part in interviews, lifestyle segments, and audience-focused features. At KVIL, she contributed to programs reaching a wide regional audience, Colleagues said she played a key role in shaping personality-driven local broadcasting in North Texas. Humphreys also represented her stations at community events, charity functions, and live audience appearances across the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and spoke at conferences and civic events. Her work is preserved in archived television footage, radio recordings, and promotional materials documenting her impact on the region's media landscape. A 17-month-old baby or boy from San Antonio, Texas, has been diagnosed with Farber disease, an ultra-rare genetic disorder, and his family has launched a fundraising campaign to support his medical care. The child, identified as Zaid, received the diagnosis after medical evaluations and genetic testing confirmed mutations linked to Farber disease. The disorder affects the body's ability to break down fats and can impact joints, tissues, and the nervous system. Zaid's family is raising funds to cover medical expenses, therapies, specialized equipment, and other related costs through community networks and online platforms. Medical specialists continue to monitor Zaid's condition and adjust treatment as needed. Farber disease is inherited in an autosomal recessive pattern, and genetic counselors have advised the family on recurrence risks. Turkey prices in the United States have jumped sharply for Thanksgiving 2025 as poultry diseases reduced the number of birds available. According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, wholesale frozen whole hen turkeys will cost about $1.32 per pound, up nearly 40% from 94 cents per pound in 2024. Farmers expect to send 195 million birds to market this year, 3% fewer than last year and far below the mid-1990s peak of more than 300 million. USDA economists say production fell nearly 10% in the first half of 2025 due to outbreaks of highly pathogenic avian influenza, which affected over 600,000 turkeys in September, mostly in Minnesota. Avian pneumovirus, which hit breeder flocks last year, also slowed egg production and the supply of young birds. The higher prices are prompting some families to stretch their budgets and rely on leftovers after Thanksgiving. Experts remind households to refrigerate or freeze leftover turkey and side dishes within 2 hours to prevent spoilage. Cooked turkey and dishes remain safe in the refrigerator for 3 to 4 days and should be reheated to 165 degrees Fahrenheit.
Join us for a captivating new series where Lawin sits down with the trailblazers of the music and entertainment world. Discover the stories behind the faces and voices that shape our culture and community.
We will bring you exclusive interviews with industry legends and rising stars. Behind the scenes insights and get a peek into the creative processes and personal journeys. Artists and performers and their upcoming shows and events.
Stay tuned for more updates and sneak peeks. Follow us on social media and subscribe to our channel.
The Trump administration has proposed changes to how the federal government protects threatened and endangered species in the United States. The plan will remove a long-standing rule that automatically extended protections to species once they are listed as threatened under the Endangered Species Act. Enacted in 1973, the law aims to prevent the extinction of at-risk animals and plants. For decades, most threatened species received the same safeguards as endangered species under a general provision known as a Blanket 4D rule. This rule limited killing, harming, or harassing listed species and restricted habitat destruction. Under the new proposal, newly listed threatened species would no longer receive automatic protections. Instead, wildlife agencies such as the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service and the National Marine Fisheries Service would have discretion to determine which protections apply to each species. Officials say the change updates the regulatory process and allows more flexibility while maintaining species protections. The proposal does not change the legal definitions of endangered or threatened, nor does it remove any species from federal lists. It only affects the process for determining safeguards for threatened species. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. announced Friday in Manila that authorities have issued arrest warrants for resigned lawmaker Zaldico and 17 other individuals in connection with an undisclosed case. The president said law enforcement agencies confirmed the development to him before he spoke with reporters. Marcos said the warrants named Co and 17 additional respondents, though officials have not yet publicly released the other names. He added that agencies responsible for serving the warrants will coordinate to locate and arrest Co and the others listed. The president said the executive branch will give further details to the courts and to the investigative and prosecuting agencies handling the case. He declined to provide information about the charges and directed questions to the appropriate authorities. The Philippine government has denied reports that any clandestine flights brought Palestinians into the country as Palestinian authorities investigate alleged covert flight operations involving Palestinian passengers. The Department of Foreign Affairs said there are no records of secret or unauthorized flights carrying Palestinian nationals into Philippine territory. Officials confirmed that all inbound international flights followed immigration, customs, and aviation protocols. Philippine immigration authorities also reported no irregular entries of Palestinian nationals, saying no arrivals matched claims of covert operations. The Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines added that all commercial and charter flights operated with filed flight plans, proper clearances, and were fully monitored through standard air traffic control systems. Palestinian authorities are conducting their own inquiry to verify the reported flights, including routes, carriers, and passenger identities. Philippine officials say they will provide updates if new verified information emerges from the ongoing investigation. The Philippine American Chamber of Commerce of Texas Region 1 Dallas-Fort Worth hosted an entrepreneurship boot camp on November 15th this year at its Dallas conference facility. The event brought together entrepreneurs, mentors, and industry leaders for a full day of workshops and discussions. Sessions covered business entities with PACCTX State President Attorney Eileen Liga-Dizon, marketing strategies with Terry Brown, funding and financial literacy with Christopher Waikoko, government and state contract opportunities with Lashunda Griffin, and leveraging AI for business with Claude Buabu. Region Chair Rob Rodroque, the Board of Directors, and the PACCTX Greater Dallas-Fort Worth members were recognized for organizing the event. New lifetime members were welcomed, and sponsors and volunteers were acknowledged for their support in making the boot camp a success. Consul Von Ryan Pangui represented the Philippine Consulate General as guest speaker at the Knights of Rizal, Texas Area Commanders Ball on November 16th. In his remarks, Consul Pangui discussed Dr. Jose Rizal's role in history and said Rizal's ideas remain relevant to Filipinos in the Philippines and abroad. The event included the elevation of Sir Benjamin Ongoko, a founder of the Texas Area Command to the rank of Knight Grand Cross of Rizal, or KGCR. The program also featured a new bust of Jose Rizal, created through the work of artist and sculptor Fritz Silorio. The Knights of Rizal, or Orden de Caballeros de Rizal, is a civic organization chartered under Republic Act 646 in 1951. The group promotes Rizal's principles in patriotism, integrity, and public service, and maintains chapters in multiple countries, including the Texas Area Command.
Filing taxes, dealing with tax debt, or facing IRS actions is stressful, but you don't have to go it alone. Call 832-674-0829 or visit www.taxresolutionesq.com.
For divorce and family law in Texas, Liggett Dizon Law Firm PC will guide you every step of the way.
From initial consultation to detailed review of your case and strategic planning.
We'll sit with you during negotiations or mediations, and represent you in court.
Whether it is a family law, estate planning, or immigration, we will be there to guide through the final steps.
So, leave your legal matters behind you and embrace your future.
You can contact Liggett Dizon Law Firm PC at 346-5454-346 or visit DizonLawFirm.com.
Dallas Mavericks officials announced Thursday that guard Dante Exum will miss the entire 2025 to 2026 NBA season as he prepares for a second surgery on his right knee. The 30-year-old developed complications from an off-season procedure performed shortly after he re-signed with the team on a one-year contract. Team representatives said doctors recommended the additional surgery after detecting issues during his recovery and evaluation period. The operation is expected to take place in the coming days, under the supervision of team medical staff and outside specialists. The Mavericks said Exum will begin a structured rehabilitation program immediately after the procedure. He had entered the off-season planning to take on significant backcourt minutes in the upcoming campaign. The team will provide updates on his condition as needed throughout his recovery. Gilas Pilipinas head coach Tim Cone announced Tuesday in Manila that forward Kelvin Aftana will miss the team's upcoming FIBA World Cup Asian Qualifiers games against Guam on November 28th and December 1st. Cone said his hamstring injury will sideline Aftana for the entire window. The coaching staff decided to rule him out to allow full recovery. Cone said the injury occurred before Gilas entered its final preparations, and medical personnel recommended rest and rehabilitation. He said the staff has already adjusted the rotation and game plan, with other wings and forwards set to take over Aftana's minutes and responsibilities on both ends of the floor. Gilas finalized its roster for the Guam window after evaluating several lineup scenarios. Cone added that the team will emphasize ball movement, collective defense, and maintaining continuity in its system. Gilas will continue to monitor Aftana's progress and coordinate with his PBA club on his rehab. He will rejoin national team practices once doctors clear him for full basketball activity. The animated film Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba to the Hashira training has become the first Japanese movie to surpass 100 billion yen in domestic box office revenue, industry trackers reported. Distributors said cinemas nationwide, from major cities to regional theaters, continued to screen the film in multiple daily showings, with cumulative ticket sales pushing it past the historic milestone. Box office monitoring companies confirmed the total using data collected from theater operators. The film features battles between characters and demons, blending hand-drawn animation with computer-generated imagery to enhance depth and environmental effects. Its production included a shifting kaleidoscopic castle setting and a synchronized soundscape combining music, effects, and dialogue. Fatima Bosch of Mexico won the 74th Miss Universe pageant in Thailand, securing the Miss Universe 2025 title after contestants from around the world competed in multiple segments of the competition. Delegates participated in preliminary events that included swimsuit, evening gown, and interview rounds before judges determined the finalists. Bosch advanced through the top 20, top 10, and top 5 to claim the crown. The Philippines representative Atisa Manalo finished as third runner-up after reaching the final round. Judges evaluated contestants on stage presence, communication skills, and their responses during the final question segment. The Miss Universe organization manages the annual competition and oversees the responsibilities of the title holder, including public appearances, advocacy initiatives, and international engagements. As we brace ourselves for the upcoming weather changes, let's dive into what you can expect day by day. Whether you're planning outdoor activities or just preparing for the week, we've got you covered with the most accurate forecast. Stay tuned with us as we take a closer look at the weather patterns that will impact our region. Remember, here at Lawin Weekly News, we bring you the clearest skies to the stormiest forecasts.
Here is your Lawin Weekly News weather forecast in Houston, Texas. On November 23rd, Sunday, the high is around 70 degrees Fahrenheit with a low near 54 degrees Fahrenheit. Mostly cloudy, with a chance of scattered showers. On November 24th, Monday, the temperature peaks near 69 degrees Fahrenheit and drops to about 53 degrees Fahrenheit at night. Expect partly sunny skies and cool, calm conditions. On November 25th, Tuesday, the high will be around 68 degrees Fahrenheit with a low near 52 degrees Fahrenheit, mostly clear and crisp. On November 26th, Wednesday, the high is about 67 degrees Fahrenheit with a low around 51 degrees Fahrenheit, sunny with a brisk, autumn feel. On November 27th, Thursday, the temperature reaches about 66 degrees Fahrenheit with an overnight low near 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Partly sunny and a bit chillier. On November 28th, Friday, the high may be around 65 degrees Fahrenheit and the low about 49 degrees Fahrenheit. Mostly cloudy, with a slight chance of rain. On November 29th, Saturday, the high is estimated at 64 degrees Fahrenheit with a low of 48 degrees Fahrenheit. Overcast and cool, with a greater likelihood of showers or light rain.
So those were the latest stories in Texas this week. I am Nazca Santina from Lawin Media Network. Have a great day.
Lawin Weekly News.
Tune in live Sundays 8 a.m. Central Standard Time and Sundays 6 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Lawin Weekly News.